Hey guys, welcome back. Today we talk about a question one of my subscribers, Daniel, had. And he basically asked me, what would I do if I would start now from the beginning with the knowledge I have right now? Or how would I start as a new trader basically? And I thought about this and I thought about making a video because I think there's more people out there who could benefit from it. So, number one, how I would start. If you're a complete beginner, then you want to watch this. If you are in your beginning years, you still want to watch this because there's still some nuggets which could benefit you. And especially 2026 comes around and you maybe want to start with a clean sheet. Um, I would start to learn obviously first one strategy, right? One strategy I can understand, I can follow, and I can implement and apply in the market. It needs to make sense for you. For me personally, I know ICT. ICT concepts are making sense for me and I can trade them. So if you're an ICT trader, I would recommend you starting with the ICT 2022 model. In my opinion, it's one of the easiest to understand. It's compact, it has 40 videos. I will study all of this playlist and you know, I would just blank out everything else, every other trader on social media. I would not look at other people who using trend lines or breakout strategies, what they are doing. I would not, go on live streams or being, a lot on Twitter and on socials. I would just focus on these videos, study them, taking notes, maybe, and I probably, that's what I did in my years. I even studied them again after a while, because it's so much information that from one time learning a course, going through videos, it will not stick all of it. Even though you're very paying attention to anything, it is just so much information you need to reflect on it, apply it, come back to it, and then you see other things you might have not seen in the moment. And then I would think about, okay, if I have the strategy, the technicals, I would then find a time window which suits my lifestyle. It could be depending where you live, right? It could be Asia session, London session, New York session, depending also what kind of assets you choose. I would, if I have only one asset, if you give me, one choice, I would just trade NQ. And the best times to trade them is New York time, right? When 9:30 opening bell hits and the stock equity market is open, that is where Nasdaq is most volatile. So I would probably stick to New York session. Right now I'm living in Asia, so that's quite late for me. I might would have done differently if I stay here in Asia long term. That I would might do it on London, right? I would just focus on my London session. So you really need to see for yourself what time windows, what kill zones, what macros are suitable for your lifestyle. Are you having a job right now? Do you have, other duties in your life you have to comply? So it's just find that window which works for you, right? Also think about, you want to trade early in the morning, late in the evening. Where are you the most sharp? Is it middle of the day? That's really determined by you, and I would just make a good decision on that and then write it down. So you have the strategy, you have the times. You don't want to watch the chart the whole day. It's not productive. It's not bringing you to better outcomes. So discipline on that. Um, then I would check the economic calendar on Forex Factory or other. I use forexfactory.com where you can see all the high impact, medium impact news driver. If I trade NQ, I want to see the USD impact news drivers because they are affecting my assets I'm gonna trade, and I want to know if when is the volatility coming in. You can see it as the TV program on for the week, right? So that gives you already indication when you want to trade, when not, and when is your asset volatile and their setups. So you don't want to avoid high impact news drivers. You want to be cautious depending on which one they are, but you want to use them to see manipulation happening in a market and then capitalize on being on the right side. So it's very important to check before the week starts what days do I actually want to trade. Where is the high probability days in the week? And you remove all low quality days, right? You don't want to trade on these. You want to practice your model on the high probability trading days, and on the other low probability days, I would say, you just practice forward testing, get a demo account on, you know, just test your strategy and get just comfortable with seeing price action happening. And the most important part is that you are in a trade and you are learning and practicing how to manage the trade. As in the video said before, that you can be a great analyst but a shitty trader, and that is just, you come into the trade, you know where it's going, but in the middle from your entry to your take profit, you do a lot of bullshit basically, and you you know keep the profits away from yourself, or you incur unnecessary losses. Your emotions are you have to handle. And yeah, understanding that patience is probably the most valuable thing in your trading career, because having no position on is a position. Being sitting on your hands, on your cash, it is a position, because you have that feeling, and I had this before too, right? I know this as as a trader, being now for 5 years in the game. I had all of these urges, and I always thought I need to be in a position, I need to manage something, and that leads a little bit into a addiction, if we're honest with ourselves. It's something which urges us being constantly in a position, waking up and trading, whatever. Like, it is not what a professional trader somewhere in whatever, in an office, Wall Street, whatever, do, right? We have the benefit, we can all trade remotely, and we are our own boss, but we need to hold ourselves to high standards. Otherwise, you can't compete with these people, who have more information, who move the market. Like, imagine you're, you know, a bedroom trader, and you just come into the market and just, you roll the dice every day. Of course, at some point you will lose it all. So, learning patience and being aware of that you don't have to trade every day. You shouldn't even trade every day. You should look at your calendars, the economic calendar. When are the probable days on the week? And most of the time, it's just two or three of them. Yeah. Um, Write all of this down. Yeah. So you have your strategy, you have your windows, you have um, your trade plan before you come into the week. Right. It needs to be everything fixed. Very important. Then I would, if I have everything done, if I have my trading plan, I learned the strategy for a couple months, I, maybe had some forward testing, I would buy a small evaluation, and I would just go with the lowest leverage, or if it's very small leverage, because I understand you're gonna get rebuilt monthly at the future um, prop firms. You can also go for a CFD prop firm, just go for a small one, and you have unlimited time, depending what industry you're gonna be in. But going for one small evaluation is important, I think, because you are gonna learn how to handle your money, quote unquote, because we all know it's demo and it's simulated, but it's still money on the line because you bought it and you have this expectation of passing it, getting to final stage, getting payout. So you will have that pressure, and that is exactly what you need to learn how to handle that. So getting a small evaluation. The goal is the execution and not making much money, right? It's not the goal here with the small evaluation to make big payouts. It's just for you to practice, learn how to execute your strategy on these, and then slowly seeing your results, reviewing them, getting data about them. And that means you're progressing, right? And then later you're gonna get bigger accounts, more evaluations, link them up, and then that can go exponentially. But in the beginning, why would you load up 20 accounts, right? Makes no sense. You're gonna lose them. If you're a new trader, in the first couple of years, you really want your losses to keep kept small as possible because you're gonna be losing. It's just, are you how intelligent are you, how genius are you that you could avoid this as much as possible, learning from other people's mistakes? And that is very hard because most people just need to learn the hard way. So yeah, that expectation of not making money right now, but just learning, and give yourself a good timeline, Like, don't expect in the first year to make like crazy amounts of money. Give yourself a good timeline, right? And then it removes the pressure of performing because you're practicing and you're actually not being blinded by the dollar amounts. You're gonna be focusing on the charts and your execution and how well you're doing and how well you're following your plan and your rules. So very important. On this evaluation, I would trade only one trade a day. Why? Because that is practicing not just your execution, not just following your plan, but the discipline. What are you doing after that loss? What are you doing after that quick win? Very important to learn, very important to observe yourself and see what your urges are like. If you're, an elite thinker, then you observe yourself really in that moment where you have that loss, your first loss on your evaluation, your first win on the evaluation. What is your head, your belly feeling, wanting you to do? Taking another trade or locking off and walk away? That is so important. I can't stress that enough, because if I would know this, man, I would have way more, yeah, let's call it success in a way that I wouldn't fail that much. I wouldn't fucking blow hundreds of accounts. I don't know. It's just unnecessary. I really needed to learn the hard way so I can make these videos for you and tell you the truth. How it's normal. It's normal for most people to learn the hard way, to blow hundreds of accounts, and then like finally a couple of years, if they're still on that journey, because most people would quit, um, would get to a point where they can recover and make more money and having that skill acquired. But it takes a lot of pain, and for most people it takes. Some people, maybe you're watching this right now, you might could avoid this. You could learn from my mistakes and listen to me and take it serious. And then start your 2026 with a clean sheet and start making money. So we have that one trade a day, There's no revenge trading involved because you have just one trade, right? That is it. Trade, no, you have no, you know, boredom trades afterwards. You just walk away. You have strictly one trade, and that puts you in a position where you have like one. You really need to focus on one clean decision, I would say, one really good decision a day. Because if you take it on a random setup, it you bite yourself in the ass because maybe after that your setup is right there, perfectly laid out, or later in the day, and you can't take another trade. That's up to you. So you're being very picky with your trades. That is another really good skill to learn as a trader. Being picky, demanding a lot from the market, that it shows you everything you want to see. If it doesn't show you everything and just shows you some, you're not taking it, right? And it can just help you to lose less, be more involved in the trades you really want to be in. So next thing, very important. I would be spending more time on the higher time frame than the lower time frame, because the lower time frame, to master the lower time frame, is very demanding. There's a lot going on for a new trader. I tried it going into the 1 minute straight away when I was, well, just starting out. And I would be so confused with all the break of structures, all of this shit on the 1 minute, when I could have a clear view on a 1 hour, 4 hour daily, what's gonna happen here, right? Knowing where the weekly candle is expanding to, or what is it daily doing for the day, then going down to 1 hour to see more structure. But doing it on a 1 minute, bro, it's fast, it's not ideal. I think you should learn the 50 minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, and stay above the 1 hour mainly. Um, it really look at your areas of interest, your points of interest, where you want to see reactions, and then just tape read and see what the 50 minute, what the 1 hour is doing. Right? It would just lead you to clear structure. You blend out the noise on the 1 minute. The 1 minute can be a really good tool to, spot a start of an expansion, and you have a really great risk to reward. But that's not something you should demand yourself with when you're just starting out. You want to, yeah, you want to stay on the higher time frames more, and then as soon you understand them, you can utilize the lower time frames like 5 minute, 1 minute, um, and even seconds. But that is something for later, future, guys. Try to go really from up to down. And then the other days where you don't trade, you shouldn't waste them, um, like not being on the chart. It's really important that you in the beginning have screen time, you show up daily, but you just tape read. Look at price levels where you would take a trade from. Look for reactions of these levels and see what kind of trade you would be entering. If you have a demo account, perfect. Forward test, right? No risk. You just show up, you're learning it for free, and you're putting yourself into positions and trying to manage them, even though it's not the same because you are having no money on the line. But it is still valuable to seeing your trades playing out or not and kind of reviewing them. It's not that you trade like 100 times a day, but yeah, pick 1 or 2 trades in a day. If that's a day where you don't want to trade and put your eval at risk, then trade the other days on a demo account, just to get the feeling like how is your strategy performing on these days. great tool, really great tool. I still do it sometimes, forward testing is a fun thing, and it can really improve your overall trading. And very important, if you've done everything, it is so important to make weekly reviews. Do on Saturday, review your week, review your emotions, how you handled everything, how you followed your plan, where you disciplined. Review everything really honestly, because there's nobody you have to lie to. It's just you versus you, and you need to be responsible and hold yourself accountable of all things. Even the things you don't want to talk about, you need to talk about them with yourself and finding solutions for that. Very important, guys. It is an internal battle you have to face every fucking day. And that makes you really a strong person, man. So see it as opportunity, not as a chore. So I guess I will keep it with that. I could go on and on and on, but those are the main core things I would focus on, and that brings you for a great start for 2026, or whenever you decide to take this thing serious. Focus on the simple things. If you start going to the gym as a new beginner, you start on the core exercises, right? Bench press, squats, whatever. That is the core idea here. You're gonna focus on the simple things which are proven to make your money. It is the boring things which make you money. It's not the fancy new strategy and whatever. Keep yourself in your own lane. Don't watch too many people who are doing things completely different to you. Um, especially strategy wise, that makes no sense. Psychological wise, I guess that is fair enough. You can always listen to people about their how they are treating um, trading in their head. It's always good to know about this and learn about yourself, and maybe take some nuggets, as I do with this video. But I'm not really talking in my all of my videos really about my technical strategies, right? It's more okay, planning, risk management, psychology, and that's really what makes you the most money. Handling that, learning about this, and yeah, becoming a greater trader in these areas. And if you need help from me one to one, I have down there in the description a link. You can apply for my mentorship. Hop on a call with me. I will see if I can help you, and then I'll take you on. I'll take you on with me and make you successful. So until then, I hope to see you inside, and I wish you good luck and good trading. See ya.